So everyone must know about first-person shooters at this point, right? Those are the ones usually taking over this top spot in the gaming industry. But let me introduce you all to isometric shooters. Isometric shooters, or top-down shooters, are games where your camera is set at the top, giving you the impression of playing God. It's kinda like chess, except you're only controlling a single pawn, and it's killing everything else in there. Isometric shooters have the freedom to show a huge area of the playing field. So it is a famous genre amongst controversial games that want to show mass genocide. Games like Postal, Hatred, Hotline Miami come to mind. But not all isometric shooters are into just people and people action. No. Some try to keep it simple. They replace people with aliens instead. One notable example being Alien Swarm Reactive Drop. And the topic of today's video, Alien Shooter. A game which, I'll be honest, even I forgot about until I watched this video from Shobi and it instantly clicked me. So what is Alien Shooter? It's a game created by, and I kid you not, the Sigma team. Released in 2003, this game is not really well known amongst people. Instead, of course, where else but South Asia? But here's the thing though. I don't think anyone who has played this game has any idea as to how they got their hands on this game. It just existed on their PCs. In my case, this game was also just there on my PC. No idea as to how it got there or who put it in there.
Hey, phrase it!
But it just existed and I played it as a kid. So this game is available on Steam. But that isn't where I downloaded this from. I instead downloaded it from GameTop.com. Which also contains Air Assault, which again is a game I'm pretty sure a lot of my South Asian fans would fondly remember. I might make a video on that too someday, so stay tuned for that. Opening the EXE, you're greeted with this launcher which lets you choose the resolution, for it turns out that this game can't go beyond 1024x768, which makes sense because it's an older game, and also the option to select between green blood and red blood. I chose red blood because, let's be honest, who doesn't love strawberry jam and Okay, I shouldn't really go there. Learn how to use the correct phrasing, goddammit. By the way, I did check what the green blood looks like, and this is what it looked like. Honestly, it just looks like gelatin's rancid corpse. Booting up the game, we're greeted with this pretty cool menu music, I must say. The name of the music is menu_music. Yeah, there is no official name given to these soundtracks. Going into new game, you get the option to pick a character. You can either pick the guy who has more health and strength but moves slower and has less accuracy, or the lady with less health and strength but has more speed and more accuracy. Being the female rights activist that I am, I went straight for the lady because women should also get equal rights. After putting my name in, I went straight for the campaign, where there's a small loadout menu where you can buy weapons, armor, and other goodies. But since I have no money for now, we're gonna skip it for later. So actually pressing continue, we head into this open area right outside the facility. This essentially is the tutorial section, which honestly provides great continuity from the tutorial to the first mission, which I'll get to in a moment. So, moving around and shooting the gun, there is one slight nitpick about this game. Since the characters can go to the side of the map, the sound actually gets cut off from one side, depending on which side you are on. Now, depending on who you are, this could either be a really great feature, or it could provide slight inconvenience. As someone who probably has ADHD, I find it a little annoying. I'm in no way hating the developers for this, it's just a small nitpick that I had. So no, this main gate is not how you get in. You instead have to walk to the back side of the facility where there's this broken fencing. This is where we also get to experience this game's environment destruction elements. You can break open these boxes which sometimes contain equipment like health or cash or even power-ups. Now I have played this game before, so I had an idea that these things break. But even if you didn't have any idea, the game teaches you that by keeping these explosives right next to the facility's wall, which you have to shoot, and in doing so will open up a hole to enter in from. Now I know a lot of games do this, but I always like those games which incorporate the tutorial missions in the storyline in some way, and actually continue on from there, and also in the process don't make it annoying or anything. Even in this tutorial, there weren't any aliens and just us alone. It makes the level feel less like a tutorial and more like a level 0. A smaller tutorial note here. I checked back on the footage and as it turns out this tutorial is just labeled as mission 1. So I guess the continuity part does make a bit sense. But still, I just wanted to point it out. Anyway, now moving inside the hole, the mission ends and the loadout menu comes again. And with the money I collected earlier, I immediately cashed out on the shotgun. Now as you can see, I collected some money here which I actually had no idea about. And this underlines a big issue about this game. You can't see what's behind the corner. Sometimes you may get stuck in a corner and you'll have no idea what's eating your health away, only to realize that there was an alien along with you. Anyway, the lights are out and Music 00 plays in the background. The main objective of each mission is usually just do this thing to progress and kill all the aliens to complete the mission. So in this case, the objective was to just power on the generator and kill all the aliens. Speaking of which, these are the first aliens that we'll encounter. They look like if the Hound Eye and Bull Squid from Half-Life and Wild Mutt from Ben 10 had a movie. Engaging in a fight automatically switches the music to Music 01. And I must say, the soundtrack of this game are really banging. Now, the shooting in this game is a little weird. The bullets will go wherever the crosshair is, rather than killing everything in front of it. Now, it's not obvious with the shotgun, but you'll see it later on. Anyway, I just killed all the greenlings and collected stuff from the boxes and other areas in the mission before pressing spacebar to finish the level. Now, I was going with the buy a new weapon every mission approach. So I bought out the grenade launcher next. Next mission, again the same objective, turn on the generator, except this time you're given the dynamite as well. Now you might be wondering, what's the dynamite for? Well, later in the mission, you get this hole where these aliens spawn from infinitely. So the dynamite is used to create debris in the hole, similar to how the grubs in the grub hole work in Gears of War. Now you'll see me using the grenade launcher from far away because I thought it would damage me as well, but it doesn't. So it's alright. You're also greeted with these yellow greenlings now. Yes, I'm calling the small ones greenlings. These yellow ones move and attack faster and also have more health compared to the green ones. Also, Music 02 starts to play, and this honestly is my most favorite soundtrack. I find it better than Music 01. Anyway, the grenade launch is nice. It mows down through the greenlings really well. Now there's one thing I forgot to mention. If you didn't notice, these aliens also drop some health, ammo and power-ups, which one of these greenlings did. And I have no idea about it until I accidentally stumbled upon it because it was behind a corner. Anyway, I got invulnerability, which was nice while it lasted. This is also the part where I actually lost a life because I shot my grenade launcher right next to a bunch of explosives and they exploded and I died. If you have extra lives, you'll respawn back to the start of the level, or at a checkpoint depending on the level. Clearing through the hallways, you're also introduced with regular sized green aliens whom I'll call... let's call them Scythers. These Scythers have more health and deal more damage compared to the greenlings. There's also a blue greenling. This seems to have the highest health amongst the greenlings, even more than the Scythers. Placing the dynamite increases the exposure by 10-fold and blocks the hole. Here's one thing I forgot to mention. If there are only a few aliens left, The game actually puts an arrow in front of you, showing where that last alien is. And it's another lifesaver of a feature, because if the arrow wasn't there, this game would have been worse than Postal 1 not telling you to press the F1 key after completing a level. New mission, new weapon. This time it's the minigun. As the description of it reads, it's probably the most lifesaver gun you can own in this game. No, I'm joking, I just modded that. I'll show you that later. But yes, it really is a lifesaver weapon. High ammo count, fast, can mow down stuff really well. Anyway, the mission begins. I kill a yellow green, look around for supplies, I step inside a room when, the lights are gone, the door's closed, and now I'm stuck here with a bunch of aliens coming my way. Well, that's where the minigun shines. See how I am slicing through them like a knife on hot butter. Oh wait, I mean like a knife. I mean like a hot knife on butter. Another thing to mention is, since I never really upgraded any of the stats, I was constantly running low on ammo and had to switch up my weapons. Turning the generator back on, you'll see that there's 3 dynamites in the adjacent room instead of just 1. This is because now there are 3 holes instead of just 1. How great. I still use the grenade launcher for its high damage and only use the minigun as a reactionary weapon in case there were too many aliens coming my way. After blocking away all the 3 holes and learning that I can turn off my HUD, I kill the remaining aliens and press space to complete the mission. Next weapon on the list is the rocket launcher. This is also high damage, has area of splash. It's amazing. We now have these red greenlings and red scythers now. One of these boxes also gave me a strength implant, which I had no idea about, and I never questioned about how my ammo capacity was increased. If you didn't catch it, upgrading strength increases the amount of ammo which you can hold. This mission also introduces the spiders, which are pretty much greenlings but faster and more in numbers. It's satisfying to mow them down with a minigun, so just look at it. After killing a bunch of them, some yellow spiders show up. These spit out some radioactive crap that damages you if you're standing in it, similar to a Molotov cocktail. One thing I also noticed is when the armor breaks, you can actually see an animation of it breaking apart. It's probably something you may not see in real game just because of the sheer amount of aliens that exist. I know, cause I didn't either. But looking back at the footage and seeing all this is really surprising to me. These guys actually put effort into making their games. I am impressed, Sigma team. Back to the game and we meet red spiders. These don't spread, but move the fastest. Then there's this blue spider who's also the fastest and spreads stuff. Also tanks more rockets than Night Shark. This was also the moment where I was cutting things way too close. Like as close as hitting single digit health. Only surviving because of a first aid kit I had obtained previously and a lucky mega health drop. By the way, I don't think I really specified how much each health item heals. These small ones give you 20 health, the box gives you 50 health, and the mega health gives you 100 health. The mega health also has the ability to go beyond your max health limit, hence why you're seeing my health go above 80 here. Anyway, after clearing all those guys and emptying all my rocket launcher ammo in the process, I cleared the rest of the hallway, looked for the last few aliens, cleared them off as well, and that's the end of the mission. Quickly cashing out on the freeze gun, and also this night vision goggles out of curiosity. I move on to the next mission to use it, but it turns out this gun is kinda... I won't exactly say shit, but it definitely is on the weaker side. Now it does have an area of splash effect, which is nice, but it does take a 2 shot to freeze even the most basic aliens. It does perma-freeze them, but with so many aliens coming your way, it can't really keep up that well. Also, the Scythers can now use weapons of their own, and they have body armor along with said weapons. That definitely is fun. There's also these light gates for which you need to break these power sources to gain access to, but they're nothing really interesting to write about. But even after dying once in the beginning and getting a 1-up in the process, I managed to beat this level without much issues. Next weapon on the list is the plasma rifle. Just like the rocket launcher, it deals high damage but is a single instantaneous beam. But it also has area of effect, so it's nice. It is pretty slow though. This is probably the weapon that matters from your crosshair position the most. As you can see here, I kept my crosshair here, which should have taken out a bunch of scythers, but it didn't hit anybody. The plasma rifle being slow to shoot again is a little problematic considering how much damage it does. Yeah, it can one-shot armored green scythers, but the armored yellow scythers only use the armor and come charging right at me. And since I was stuck in a corner of a room, I managed to die. So this time, going back into the drawing room, I switched up my strategy. Instead of dumping my money on the plasma rifle, I dumped it on other things. Ammo, extra life, a first aid kit, armor, the sentry turret, and a health module. So even though I was inflicting the same amount of damage on these things, I was well equipped now, and I managed to clear this hallway. Oh yeah, there's also these red scythers now. They shoot rockets.
How convenient.
12 minutes of clearing the hallways later, you're greeted with this game's BFG 10,000, a chain gun turret that absolutely decimates anything that comes within its range. With infinite ammo, you can honestly just sit and kill aliens for days. Just look at how much strawberry jam there is to eat. But since these guys come out infinitely, you can't really progress unless you get out of the turret and go destroy the teleporter with... Yeah, we got dinosaurs now. And they also shoot lasers. I would have died trying to place this dynamite were it not for the first aid kit I had bought. Absolute clutch purchase. Since these guys were stuck and not really coming at me, I had to shoot them from afar. Something tells me these guys were meant to come near the turret, but they didn't because of their shitty behavior. Anyway, that's mission complete. Turns out I have received a strength module somehow, but I am too lazy to figure out where I got this from. This time I did buy the plasma rifle since I didn't have to buy the ammo for it. Also cashed out on an extra life, a first aid kit, that auto turret, and after realizing how important these modules are, I bought a health module and 2 accuracy modules. The plasma rifle honestly still isn't it. It's nice, but it still has less ammo than the rocket launcher. And while being both instantaneous and slow to shoot at the same time, it does somehow run out of ammo fast. It is pretty clutch against the dinosaurs, but the ammo is a bit of a problem. In a moment of desperation, I may have accidentally stood next to a bunch of explosives and shot at them and killed myself. In-game. After taking out all the teleporters and having just 1 health in the process, I died. I don't know what y'all were even thinking. Now, once again, with 0 lives and no ammo in the major weapons, I started struggling, using the grenade launcher to take out stuff until even that ran out, leaving only the shotgun. Now I tried to hold my ground against the horde using just the shotgun, but I knew death would be inevitable, which it was. So this time I decided to purchase the flamethrower, which was hands down probably the worst purchase ever. Yes, it deals high damage, but has really short range. And with the aliens are spewing radioactive shit and charging right at you, that high damage ends up meaning nothing. Unsurprisingly, I died again. Once again, I cashed out on the flamethrower, but this time, instead of buying ammo for other weapons, I purchased a health module and spent the rest of my money on rockets. So, let's see how that go. I died again. So, ignoring the rockets now, I purchased both the health module and a yellow armor along with some minigun ammo. This strategy was working great so far. Upgrading the health definitely was useful. While I did lose a life, I still had it in the bag. This part especially was really fun. Tight corridor, no invulnerability, just a flamethrower and yellow armor, and a bunch of aliens. This felt like a rip and tear moment. just realized breaking these power sources also damage you if you get too close to them. We get to the BFG again, but this time things get a little too overwhelming. Since I was low on health, the turret also suffers since your health is tied with the turrets. And you have to collect health from the alien drops since they despawn after some time. But you can't get out either since there are way too many enemies around, in some cases coming from all four sides. So I cleared as many enemies as I could before going for the mega healths that were kept around the BFG. It also turns out that the mega health also has a gap, since I should have gotten 287 health, but instead I got 227 health. You've got these red dinosaurs here, which are the tankiest aliens in the game. These take time to kill even with the BFG, which lets other aliens close up to you and damage you. But after wasting a whopping 6 minutes in that area, I just died again. And then I died one more time. At this point my gameplay was getting really sloppy since I was too tired of playing the game. So for this attempt, I had a master strategy. Instead of spending my money on new weapons, I maxed out all my stats, bought all the modules I could, and with the leftover money I bought the red armor and filled up the ammo of my existing guns. Now I was fast, had way more health, and way more accuracy than last time. But I still died. So now I added more lives instead of filling up ammo. Just the one thing I love about this game, and I want to touch up on it later. For now I was mowing down these aliens for days. I might have played a risky move and went into a bunch of aliens with the invulnerability, and I only managed to barely make it out of there. But even after being reduced to only using the shotgun for a while, I made it to the BFG section, cleared a lot of the area, and ran past the dynamite. And now with my faster movement, I was able to dodge the rockets quite well. It was a constant loop of sitting in the BFG and stepping out to get some health until I destroyed the teleporters and also met a blue scyther in the process. Yeah, this dude was tankier than the dinosaurs. I can't imagine how tanky a blue dinosaur would be. But after venturing off to kill the last few enemies, the mission finally gets completed. Now it's time for the ultimate king of the game. Meet the Magma Minigun. This is the portable version of the BFJ. Same damage, contains as many rounds as the flamethrower, but has a slightly slower fire rate than the minigun, which ends up conserving more ammo and allowing it to fire for longer. Just look at how it melts everything. Ooh! This was the most fun I've had using any weapon in this game. Minigun comes second. Now since I was tired of playing this, I was playing very recklessly, which as you can see made me lose all of my lives. So now trying to be as
less reckless
as possible, I played through the rest of the level. Also this mission was just meant to be played with the Magma minigun, hence why the level gives you tons of ammo for it everywhere. Anyway, after destroying the teleporters again, I finished the level. Now with the amount of money I had, I could easily just buy everything now. So I did. This was the final mission. And honestly, this mission just gives more of a bonus mission vibes. You're given literally everything in these supply stashes. Ammo, modules, extra lives, health, everything. This area also just feels like it was designed by someone who does strip mining in Minecraft. The corridors don't feel very natural, but oh well, it's a lab, and labs are man-made anyways. But essentially, aliens come in from each corridor and you have to kill them. Oh look, there's the blue dinosaur I mentioned before. And yes, this thing can tank a lot of shots. My recklessness made me die twice, but I cleared every hallway, finally completing the game. The ending cutscene just has a green link walking outside the facility and into the open world. And just like that, I have completed the first episode of Alien Shooter. Oh yeah, it says the first episode of Alien Shooter because this game also has a sequel, and I'm honestly really excited to play through it. Now, what did we learn from this game? We learned that it's important what you spend your money on. While the ending outcome would have essentially been the same, You can spend your money on modules first rather than the weapons, and your experience would be different. It does add an element of strategy, and I honestly kinda enjoyed it, especially at that one mission. Dying and having to rethink my strategy several times was really amazing. Also, remember when I did this? Yeah, as it turns out, you can mod the text related things given in this game, since all the information is just in notepad files. In fact, I can just go into this text file, edit this I to an E, and there's the end screen message fixed. The music and sound files can also be easily replaced since they're just OGG and WAV files respectively. So I did, and here's the result.
Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. This game mode you see right here is the survival mode. It's basically just waves of aliens spawning endlessly and you seeing how long you can last. You get new weapons as you kill certain enemies, and you only have one life. That's pretty much it for survival mode.
So yeah, that's Alien Shooter. It's definitely not the best isometric shooter game out there, but it is really good regardless. Even with its flaws, like not being able to see stuff in the corner, it definitely provides an experience that a lot of us enjoyed, and those of you who haven't can also enjoy. As stated previously, this game also has a sequel, so I want to try that out as well someday. Anyway, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you may never miss any video that I drop. Anyway, that's Scarcity signing out for the day. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.